Our mission is to reach out to young people in a different way than the normal church, I guess, would. Most young people are kind of left out of church, and we want to change that. We want to get them more involved in the overall aspect of church and keep them involved as they get older.
A lot of the kids that we get right now never been to church, or their families don't go to church, so one thing that is definitely hard is that they're starting from the very bottom, and so we have to introduce them to a whole bunch of new things.
I know last week we had a ton of questions, and it's hard with young people because most of the time they don't want to talk about anything. They don't want to ask questions. It's kind of like you just talk at them and that's it. But it's like we want to create an open forum for them to be able to talk, to ask questions if they're going through something in their life and they have questions about what God has to say about it, what's the right thing, what's the wrong thing. If they have questions, moral values or whatever, we want to make sure that they feel free to talk about that.
The messages are very easy to understand at church. We get a lot out of them, and we don't want to take the kids away from learning what us adults are learning also, and it's very simple things that they could apply in their lives. As well as an adult, you could apply those concepts also in your lives.
What happens a lot of times in churches is their youth group, or a young person's youth group, becomes their church. Whatever, this youth group, whatever it is called, youth, whatever, becomes what their church is. What happens when they graduate? Well, now that their church is over, it's no longer their church. They are not connected with the main, or what we used to call the big church, like the big people church. They were never connected with that. So now their church has died, and they have no church. And you see it all the time. And I mean, it happens, at so many churches all over the country. And so my goal is to have that bridge gap there. The Bible talks about that there should be a relationship between the young and the old, that the old should be mentoring the young.
When we first kind of got thrown into this, had no idea how it would turn out, had no idea what to start with. But I think we're making a lot of progress. I think that the main thing is trust, and I think we're starting to gain that.
I just trust God, and what we're doing is just trying to bring the youth together and trying to help them understand that they have a purpose in life, even though they're young, and think that all I need to do is just go to school, but they are important, and I think they're starting to understand that.
I believe that if we do not capture them at this age, not even in just switch youth age, not even from junior high to high school, even if you go down to the younger ones, even 5th and 6th graders, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, I think we need to capture them then. I think they are just as important as high schoolers, because they will soon be there. In a blink of an eye, they're going to be in high school. And if we do not begin to capture them and lead them to know who God is, once again, we're going to be a part of that dying church, of giving to that dying church.
It's a lot of work, but God is there for our benefit and for our own good, and not to hurt us or not to take away stuff from life, but He is there to give us life, and life more abundantly.
I'm hoping that we can build up these kids, that they can grow stronger in their walk with God, that they would establish that relationship, and that it wouldn't just be while they're in youth group, that we wouldn't fail them in that way, that they would just go through youth group and that it would just be, okay, yeah, I have my relationship with God. While I'm in youth group, I, leave and go back home, and I'm a completely different person.
What I would love to see happen with the current is that the community would know us by our actions and not just by our words, and that if we would happen to close for some reason, that the community, the neighborhood would be devastated. They would say the current cannot close.
Lord Jesus.